boys and girls, and welcome to the concession stand here on the KB Radio Network. I am your host, Kevin Reed, and this is the review of Rebel Ridge, the new action thriller that is currently on Netflix. This film stars Aaron Pierre, Don Johnson, and Anna Sophia Robb. This film follows Terry Richmond, who has come to town to post bail for his cousin, but his savings are unjustly seized by a corrupt local police force. So, with the help of a local court clerk, Terry unearths a widespread conspiracy within the town and aims to retrieve the bail money by any means necessary. This was a film that it took a while for it to get released, because I remember, because it was shot down here in Louisiana, and actually I know one of the guys who's in the movie. I went to school with, high school to be more accurate, but we he been talked about this movie. I want to say maybe 3-4 years ago that he shot this film, and I've been anticipating this movie for a while. And finally, when they released the trailer a couple of months ago, I was super hyped for it. Me being a Jack Reacher fan, love Jack Reacher. When Tom Cruise played him in the films, and most recently the Reacher series that's on Prime Video. Love that show. I just love the character of Jack Reacher, and this let off the vibes of a black Jack Reacher, and it had my interest. It had me at go. It just looked amazing, the trailer. So I was super hyped, and maybe unfairly, I put a lot of expectation on this film because I did not enjoy it as much as I was hoping. Number one, this movie was too long. This movie was over 2 hours. I want to say an hour, 2 hours and 15 minutes or something like that. This movie was way too long. It would have been fine had we had some action set pieces throughout the film. And I get the story. The story was fine. The MacGuffin that was driving this film, that was fine. The little investigation and all this stuff, but it drug on way too long, and there was no action moments or moments of tension to kind of give us a break from the story, or vice versa. We got two action set pieces maybe, and they weren't wow. They weren't well choreographed, I should say, but it is what it is. I mean, I wasn't looking for John Wick type action here. I was just looking for some real nice action. This is some real good fight choreography, because no spoilers, but there's a scene where they set up the character of Terry Richmond, where they find out his background, and he's basically Rambo. That's basically what he is. He's Rambo, which this film draws a lot of inspiration from. You could tell from start to finish. It's First Blood, but we didn't get to see that. We didn't get to see him go full killing machine, I guess you could say. Now, he isn't a killer, and I get that. I get his character isn't that, but to see him in these situations, I would have liked to see a little more oomph action wise, but it is what it is. Now, as far as the character of Terry Richmond, who is portrayed by Aaron Pierre, I liked Aaron Pierre in his role. I've been impressed with him since I first seen him in Old, the M. Night Shyamalan film. Wasn't the greatest of films, of course. That's no shock when you talk about M. Night Shyamalan, but I liked him in that movie. What was his character name? Mid-size sedan or something like that. It was something stupid. He was a rapper, but I liked him in that film. Big dude, real big dude. I like, man, he used to be in some movies, but I hadn't seen him in nothing else since then. And to see him pop up in here. Now he's taken over for John Boyega. He was initially cast in this film, but he left the project. I don't know. There's conflicting reports. His camp says it was for family reasons, and then the production or the studio says he didn't like the screenplay, he didn't like his accommodations and stuff like that. He went diva on him, I guess, and there's a back and forth with that. So I don't know who to believe. Maybe both of them are true. I don't know, but either way, he left the project, and that's how Aaron Pierre got cast in this role. And I really liked him in the role. He had the demeanor, he had that Marine swag, that I'm familiar with. My brother, he was a Marine. My best friend is a Marine, and so I have a good knowledge of how Marines move, and he he did a good job of capturing that aura. Don Johnson, I liked him as the villain, a little underused. He wasn't in it much, but when he was in it, he was fine. This isn't the best Don Johnson you're gonna see. He's played a villain far much better than this film. I point you to Django Unchained. Loved him in that role, even though he was the most racist person on earth. But I enjoyed that. I enjoyed his performance. Here, not so much. It was kind of, Anna Sophia Robb. Been watching her since she was a kid, as a child actress, and to see her in this grown-up role here was it was nice. Once again, she was fine. This movie is a true definition of a Netflix film. Normally, in the past, I try to look at Netflix films in the light of, oh, can I see this in the theater? I see they released it on Netflix, but would it have been better served in the theater? And that's normally how I look at these films and, kind of gauge it from there. For this one, no, it did. This is where it needed to be. It didn't need to be in theaters. There's nothing about this that would make you want to run to the theater to go see it. But yeah, I would say check it out. It is a nice little watch on Netflix. Nothing I would probably run back to, but if there's nothing else on TV and I'm feeling like a rebel, pun intended, I might check it out. But it's not something that I was like, oh man, they should make a franchise out of this character. I don't see them making a sequel out of this. It's pretty much one and done. And that's what I was hoping for going into this. I was hoping that we got a actual franchise from this character, to see a black Jack Reacher. That's what I was looking for. And the elements was there. I think the most disappointing thing about this film, everything was there for this to be great. To be on the level of a Jack Reacher, it just didn't quite get there. I can't put my finger on it. One, the ending, the climax of this film, it didn't wow me. It was a nice wrap up to this story. Don't get me wrong. They didn't really leave any loose ends per se, but it just didn't, like, wow, yeah, he did it. It wasn't, I don't know. It's hard to describe it. It's just disappointing. I was really hoping for more, and what I got was meh. Rebel Ridge, which is currently on Netflix, gets a letter grade of a C. Yeah, it's average film for Netflix. Nothing I'll run home and tell mom about, but it's watchable. It is watchable. It's not a horrible film by no means, but nothing to shake the pillars of heaven. But I would love to know, what are your thoughts of Rebel Ridge? Did you check it out? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Let me know. You can email the show, kbradiopodcast@gmail.com. You can also search for the show on all social media platforms. Just search for the KB Radio Network. Also, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget about YouTube. Subscribe to the KB Radio Network channel and like this video if you don't mind. Also, don't forget about the 5 stars, the reviews, and sharing this show if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you are currently listening to the concession stand here on the KB Radio Network. Everybody, thank you for joining me for this review of Rebel Ridge. Can't wait to speak to you on the next go around. Want you all to know that I love you, continue to love everyone, and until we speak again, you all be blessed.